What's up, my caustic animals? I want to start off by saying I am not an expert in this genre. Matter of fact, I'm not an expert in any genre. I just push buttons until stuff sounds cool. And I pushed enough buttons in this song to make it sound cool. So I'm going to just show you the process of when I went through, how I interpreted how cyberpunk music sounds to me. Like I said, I'm not an expert in this, so take my advice with a grain of salt, but I'm going to walk you through everything that I did for this. So first of all, here's the song.
Warning, warning. The United States government has issued a civil warning for all citizens of the United States. This is not a drill, and this is not a test.
There's a rumbling drum down below. There's a big dark town. It's a place I've flown. There's a world going on underground.
This is a test.
This is only a test.
That's what she said.
This is a demo.
This is only a test.
That's what she said.
So first of all, let's just start with this FX here. So the song starts off with this. And all it is a 2-bar thing, and I just stretched it out. I just kept stretching it out. So all it is 2 bars, but it's just stretched out. So we can go over some of the sounds. So I got a bunch of effects, and I wanted to go for something that seemed to be either technology or some sort of industrial sounds. So we can go through these. Kind of stuff that maybe you might hear in a big factory, a steel mill, maybe some sort of technology, stuff like that. So all that is the FX there. And I wanted to build tension with this intro before the drop hits. So directly after this comes the alarm. All this is this isn't my preset. This is somebody else's. I downloaded. But all it is just FM. If you flip this over, everything's just FM. Each oscillator is FM to the other ones and stuff. So this is just using frequency modulation. And it is, so if you just take this, it's an LFO. It's just, everything's controlled with the LFO. See, it's all going to the modulation ports on here. But I didn't use that because I didn't want the roll off. So I just used the very first part of it. So if you look at the pattern, it's and that's for the alarm sound. And I mixed this with, I took a sample from YouTube, and it's like from a fake zombie apocalypse warning video or something. Here, we could listen to it.
Warning. The United States government has issued a civil warning for all citizens of the United States. This is not a drill, and this is not a test.
Here, let's stop that. And also, I pitched it up, and this is just warning that it's...
Warning.
I did it so it kind of glitched. It's all warning, you know. So that's all that was. And this was automatically kind of muffled and distorted. I didn't put any effects to this because this is like, usually in my songs, I'll have one PCM synth that I can just load up with sounds. But I will, if it needs effects, I will, so I will take 2 Caustic projects. I'll create a whole nother project just to do sound design, and I will make sure it's in the right key and everything. Oh, by the way, actually here, I'll get to that. And then I will export it. You can go to, like, so say I open another Caustic project and I made a sound in it, and I want that sound for this project. All you have to do is say you want this, just highlight this, and then you can go to export and then go to loop region only and make sure that's the only sound that's playing. If there's other stuff with it, you can mute it and it'll just be your sample. And then once you have that, you can load it up into your PCM synth and then use it as a sample. And that's how you can get away with just using pretty much unlimited tracks, because you can load up, I think, 89 samples in this. Actually, I noticed something with the PCM synth. So C8, so it actually goes to E8, but if you go down here, it only goes to C8. So if you load something on here, I don't think it's going to show up down there, which is kind of weird. It's weird that this goes to E8, but this only goes to C. So anyways, that's what I did with this, and this was the creating the tension with this. And there's some sweeps. A sweep hits right when I introduce this sound here, so we can listen to it.
Warning. The United States government has issued a civil warning for all citizens of the United States. This is not a drill, and this is not a test.
So there's the sweeps with it. It's just little things like just a bunch of noise. All these things are just pretty much noise. I made this sound within Vital. So I did the sound design in this, and then I sampled the sound, and I created a PCM synth with this sound, and I put a inverted high pass filter on it, and then brought the attack, decay, and the sustain. I brought the attack up and the decay and the sustain down, so it's automating the filter by this internal envelope for the filter. And then I put a what's it called? There's a lot of side chaining compression going to the drum, so everything that says a 1, this is my first channel, so this is considered 1, so everything is side chained to the drums. And I'll get to that a little bit later with with the super saw. And then I auto panned just the high pass one, and this one is actually the same but with a little bit different effects, and I will show it to you here in a second. So we have this that's going with the alarms, and then I put a snare right here before the drop happens. So let's listen to the drop. So I think that's really good because it has that second of before the drums kick in. So we can actually go to this sound right here. So pay attention to the sound from this one with the high pass filter compared to this one right here, which is the same thing but without the filter on it or the panning effect. Here, let's just do it from here. It's a little bit deeper. So here, listen to this. I put reverb on this as well too. And then here's this. A lot deeper. Lot more aggressive. There is reverb on this as well, I believe. Let's go to the thing. Yep, reverb. And I usually don't have the reverb this high, but it seemed to actually work out fairly good. See the room size, and I barely put any of the damping. This is just stock settings, and I usually never leave it on the stock settings. Okay, let's go up here or down here. Okay, let's talk about the drums now. So the thing I loved about this is the drums were so easy to do. I suck at programming drums. All it is kick, snare, but I layered the kicks. So here's this one, and then this one. So this one's got a real big tail and a kind of a deep kick to it. So this gives it this kind of the snap. This gives it the bass. And it sounds like it's got some noise in here too. I recommend you guys listening with headphones. So that's what the hi-hats sound like. Pretty aggressive hi-hat. And I just stretched it out. This is only 1 bar, and the majority of the song is just A1, 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 A1. Just real simple drums. This is actually 95 beats per minute, too, so you want to have a tempo of around 90 or whatever, but you know, it's all about it's up to you however you want to kind of make it. Yeah, so you can see that the effects goes all the way even into the drop as well. We could listen to this. Another one, little sweeps and stuff. So with the effects, actually, see, look, I got a lot of stuff panned and stuff. The effects seem to have pre-panning in some of them. So a lot of them I had to pan over to the right. But there was a couple that I did just slightly left of center. as well, just to give it a wider stereo image. I just figured I would add that. And I really recommend doing that if you're adding any sort of ambience, any sort of, and I've heard a producer call this ear candy as well. Make a wide stereo image for yourself. Try panning and stuff like that. When you have kind of sounds like this, there are certain things that you want in the center of your mix, but there's also stuff that you want to kind of have a stereo image for. And this is perfect for them, like the effects, ambient sound, stuff like that. Try panning them. Let's go to, so we have 12 bars of just the do. So if we could take a look at the pattern. So I have a little bit of, okay, you know what? Before we do this is what I was actually going to get into. The key is not C chromatic. I had it on D sharp minor. So if we get out of this, yeah, see, if you put it on something and you have a key that isn't right, it's going to be in red. There will be a red highlight. So if we go here and go, let's say, D minor major, I guess it's the same. Well, fine then. Let's switch it to... Everything's just working out. Fine. Let's just do something weird. There we go. See, there's a... it'll be highlighted in red knowing that this isn't part of the key. So I had this in D sharp minor. So the reason that I brought it to C chromatic is because I had a PCM synth just loaded full of stuff, and you don't see, look, you don't have the full keys here. So I couldn't access the samples that I had on keys that were not in this key, notes that were not in this key. So I switch it to C chromatic after I get done with the programming and stuff like that. So anyways, let's move on. Here's 12 bars here, and then this was a very challenging part for me. This is where the lyrics come in. So what it is if you guys seen that movie Robots, that animated movie Robots, there is a song in there. It's called the Chop Shop song, and I heard it years and years ago, and I've always wanted to do something with this, but none of the songs that I made really fit with it. And plus, I couldn't find a good version enough. It was just too much stuff in the cartoon version of it. But I just so happened to come across a different version of the song that had different instruments in it, and what I used was vocalremover.org. Or is it vocalextractor.org? It's either vocal remover or vocalextractor.org. And it's free and it's online. All you have to do is just click and drag your song on there, or just load your song into it. And it just takes a couple seconds, and it'll spit out the instrumental of it and the acapella version. So I took the acapella version in it. But it's not perfect. There is some ducking of the lyrics, especially when it clashes with some of the other frequencies. When the extractor's trying to get it, it might take out a couple different words or make it kind of quiet, and that's what kind of happened. But for the most part, it actually worked pretty good. So I put a comb filter on there, and I messed around with the frequency, turned the res down, messed kind of with the frequency until I found a good part that I wanted, or that it sounded good. And then I put a high pass filter, kind of put it down, and put the res right there, and I just called it good. I also have automation with the Robots, okay, with the delay, and you can hear some of the lyrics have a delay in it. So let's just listen to it.
Nothing. There's a rumbling drum down below. There's a big dark town. It's a place I've flown. There's a world going on underground.
So you can see the delay went up and then down. We can actually go to it if you want. Here's, no, not test, robot delay. Yep, so there is the automation for the delay that I wanted. And I moved this time up 1 notch from factory. Okay. So you'll notice that there's another instrument introduced, the super saw. So this actually is the same pattern as this, as the throat things, except for right here, I took some of the notes out, so some of the words could fit in. And I had to actually take it when I had the sample here. It was way slower, so to be able to change it, so let's just say I loaded up the acapella of it, I long press level, and then you can go to tools and then pitch time. Now, I don't use the rubber band when you have vocals. Always use sound touch. If you use rubber band, it gives it this weird, almost like mechanical effect. So go to sound touch, and if you want to speed it up, just hit, just go up to whatever you wanted until it gets to the right tempo. What else is going on? Okay, and then I just... No, we didn't go over the super saw. Yeah, I did. So the super saw sounds like this. We can just solo this. Okay, okie dokie. Just did that, and then I just cut and chopped a lot of the things. A lot of the underground part, and then I pitched it up and I pitched it down. We could listen to this right here. It'll start playing.
There's a big dark town. It's a place I've flown. There's a world going on underground.
Okay, so I cut and chopped all that, added some delay effects and stuff like that to it, and then here's the super saw, again mixed with the regular throat one that I used, and then we have the industrial effects again, along with that same A1 pattern. Remember, just the kick snare and then the drag and the hi-hats all across. So that goes until here, and then this is when I introduce the high pass one again, but I have it mixed with a sweep, and I took a emergency broadcasting from the television from 1983. I took a sample of that, and then I also put in a sample of The Office when Michael Scott's like, "Oh, that's what she said." That, and then I added some toms for a fill as it went into the new section with this bass. So let's just listen to this, and we can enjoy it.
This is a test.
This is only a test.
That's what she said.
So that was just like a little teeny tiny break in between. So I wanted to do that so I could introduce another instrument. But this pretty much has the same pattern. All these have the same pattern as my main riff that I have. It that that. All this has it. So this sound I actually designed in Vital as well, and then used the samples to and imported it into the PCM synth, and then made an instrument from this. Put a high pass filter on it, but it's not really high pass too much because the cutoff's pretty much down on it. So that's what it is. But I did add another thing up here where it kind of rises right here from the A1, so we can just listen to this. Here go. So also I added some beatboxer things. I did that. This seemed to be kind of harsh, and it still kind of is. This was real weird sounds, but it sounded kind of weird and different into this, and I felt that it did a pretty good job with that. So just having this dragged along, just this bass part that I was telling you about, was a bit kind of dull. So I wanted just to add a little bit of variance, and then so I threw in some of these beatbox sounds. And then we have the fill down there, and then it just goes into the super saw. So right here is a big change. So it just does the A1 with the super saw, but then the drums drop, and it's nothing but a different clap sound. That's what I used for this. Took the kick out of it. It just had that, and then there is a small section where it's only the super saw, but then it goes into a tyrannical terror of a bunch of different sounds. I'll just let you hear it first, and then we can go over it.
This is a demo.
Okay, so to make it go fast, I didn't put any of the key frames in, the key tempo frames. If you need to know what a key tempo is, you can long press this, and you can put set key tempo, and then you can make it go the song faster or slower. But nope, I just did. You can use easy mathematics to double time. So what I did was regular time would be kick. So here's four beats per bar on 16th notes. It would be kick, snare, kick, snare. But I have the snare on another thing. I used a different snare. So it goes kick, snare right here. Kick, kick, snare. So we can go down to the other snare that I used right here. So see how it's on everything. So this is actually 2 bars instead of 1 bar. So that's how you can easily turn anything into double time. And if you wanted to do another double time from there, it would go kick, snare, and you'd be going super fast. So my 95 beats per minute went to 190 beats per minute. So then that's double time. Did that, and then so I have a bunch of stuff loaded on this. This is a demo. So I pitched some stuff up on there to get some different sounds, but for the most part, it's like this. Wait. Let's go down. Okay, see, this is why I wanted it off of D minor. I'm putting it to C major. Come on, C major. Nope, C chromatic. Sorry. I'm like, where's all my keys? There we go. Just have tons of sound loaded on here, and I just pick and choose. I just started pushing buttons until I came up with some cool stuff, and I just totally loaded up on this. But right here, I took the drums out, and I was so pleased with how it sounded. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. It was almost keeping the rhythm with it, so we could just listen to it probably from here, and then just watch how good it goes without the drums. So we could talk about this one, I guess. So this is a dance arpeggiator thing that I made. Why it's going so fast is because I have the rate turned up just sky high on it, and it gave it just that super fast feel that I wanted when I went with the double time. So after this, it just goes back into the regular groove. Listen.
This is only a test.
That's what she said.
So yeah, the tom fills again and the test, that's what she said. But also when it was just going that with this thing, that noise sweep, and these things were going as well, just to kind of keep a little bit of the timing with it. The ch, ch, ch. And that's the sound that it is. Let's go and then see back to the industrial effects again. Remember these things? Did that. And then have the A1s again. There's just kick snare with the hi-hat stretched across. The throat sound again. Had a couple different of the sweeps. And then right here, I actually created a thing. This is actually a stock sound that I used. So I opened up another Caustic project and just made a really quick sound with it. I think this is called Lead, something Lead. And it's a subsynth preset. Sounds like, I call it the cat. It's that wah 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 wah. I just wanted to make it just a teeny tiny bit different. You know, always try to create variety within your songs. And then I stretched that out for another 12 bars. And then I ended the song the way I began it, with just the industrial sounds. Then I put automation, watch it go down. So that's it. I put a compressor on here because I wanted kind of that pumping effect with it, but it's not on very high. Limiter, so it gets rid of the peaks and stuff like that. The hardest part about the whole entire song was making sure that the frequencies didn't clash. Look how much stuff I turned down on the bass. Like, that's down, that's down, that's down. Go to this next one. All these basses are almost turned down. This was that beatboxer one that I thought was too high kind of pitch. That's why I brought the bass up on it, hoping to kind of mask some of the highs in it. But, like, when you have those noise sweeps, since noise is all frequencies, it seemed to clash a lot with the stuff, and it seemed like everything I used was just clashing with the frequency of those drums. I love the sound of the drums, but, like, man, that's why I turned down the bass on a lot of them, because I was getting phasing issues, bass cancellation. I was getting just all sorts of stuff. It was just mixing together really, really bad. So I had to take a long time. It was a nightmare, actually, to get this all mixed down and proper. That and getting the lyrics to be exactly on beat and to be smooth was a very big challenge. So every major sound that I use is sidechained, so it ducks when the drums hit, and that makes the drums stand out more. I have a tutorial on side chaining if you guys need to learn about that. So there's, just whatever stuff that I was using, I'm like, you know what, let's just side chain it. Let's side chain it. And so actually we can get to, I told you I was going to go into this. So listen to the super saw. Let's go to the super saw. Actually, let's find a spot where it's at. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, so if we listen to right here and we solo this, listen how it ducks. Come on now. Play. Hear it ducking? That's every single time. We can go to the actual thing. Watch this. Every single time that the compressor goes up, that means that the drums are hitting. So it's ducking when the drums are hitting, and it lets the drums stand out just a little bit better. So I think that this is everything that I did for the song. So check if you're interested in some of these sounds, I created a little tiny pack for you guys to get you started. So be sure to check out the description of this video. All right, thanks for watching. If you didn't like it, please give me a thumbs down. Peace.